Dear friends, welcome to the Nasha Dacha channel. In this video I want to invite you to visit us. The seasons change and so does our dacha, so there's a lot of interesting things. And to make sure you don't miss it, let's take a walk and have a look right now. So shall we go? For those viewers who are new to our channel, I want to say that exactly a year ago we bought this dacha. We've done a lot and there's still much ahead. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Let's start the tour with the greenhouse. There's almost nothing left in the greenhouse now. We've almost finished cleaning it up. It's also our first year with it and it's made of polycarbonate. We actually had no prior experience using polycarbonate greenhouses, but we gave it a try and I want to tell you we don't regret it. We had cucumbers, but they've already been cleared out. So we're slowly getting the greenhouse ready for the next season. Soon we'll be treating it against pests, diseases and so on. I'll definitely show you how we do it, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. We've left a few tall tomato plants. This is Badarin. There are fruits on the trees, so we'll keep them there as long as the weather allows, as long as they don't freeze. And if frost comes, we can always close up the greenhouse. Soon we'll be taking down the shade netting that protected our plants from the summer heat. So if you've had problems with your plants or growing them in greenhouses during the summer, the netting is a real find. We've been using it for a long time and I recommend you try it too if you haven't already. Autumn flowers, or more precisely, spring-summer-autumn flowers like petunias, will delight us right up until the first frosts. In general, they can withstand about -3 to -5 degrees Celsius, so they'll survive the first frosts and continue to please us a little longer in the fall. The pepper plants were also fed for the last time this summer. These are the kinds of harvests, or rather the leftovers you could say, that are growing now. We have two varieties. Somewhere it was labeled Friends KS3115, here we label them Anyanika. Two wonderful varieties. This is what they look like. I once filmed a review, but that was at the end of summer and now it's almost October on the calendar. So this is Yanika for anyone interested. Actually, this is Kes, which is cube-shaped, and Yanika is cone-shaped, a bit different. The tomatoes have been cleared out. We had Mitsena growing here. They were wonderful tomatoes this year. A lot depends not only on the hybrid or variety of tomatoes, but also on how you prepare the soil for growing them. We'll talk about that separately. And we've left them for now, as there are still some fruits. These are the pink-fruited happy nuts. They're not as big anymore, not as large, because we're no longer fertilizing them. It's the final principle, as they say. It will be very interesting to dig up the sweet potato harvest. We're growing it here in bags, you see, right here in a bag. We planted one bag here and another bag over there. We planted them more for decoration, so that the vines would spread out like this and cover up the not so pretty schiff, slate. This is the pile where we store compost. So we put two bags, and this kind of green waterfall covered everything all summer. It was wonderful. But it will be interesting to see the harvest of this sweet potato, because we've never grown it in bags before. We also touched up the fence with a bit of paint. Friends, well, this is more of a vlog style video. In vlog videos I talk about what we do at the dacha, what we work on bit by bit in general. This video is generally about the dacha, a bed for greens. There have already been several cycles of change here. You see here something new has already been sown, something is being removed, something is being planted, and we always have fresh greens, several types in several rows. It's very convenient. We keep such a bed in one place. Carrots and the beets. It's already time to harvest the beets. And now I want to go over to the early cabbage that I showed you. We started sowing it. Here it is. Here's the harvest. Here is such a firm head. This is Etma cabbage, an early ripening variety. But you can also grow early cabbage in the fall, and it's very interesting and useful. Let's take a look at the lawn. We're not fertilizing it anymore now. We only fertilized it once during the season with urea at a rate of 1 kilogram of urea per 100 square meters. We sowed in the spring, mowed and watered. Now we only need to water it. For this season, well, I think we ended up with a pretty good lawn overall. It's a bit more natural. It's not quite as perfect maybe as some people would like, but I think it still looks nice. But I personally prefer a more natural lawn. There are all sorts of grasses and dandelions here, and well, many kinds. Nothing wrong with that. It's soft, it's fluffy, and we really like it. And this is the first tree we planted at our dacha when we bought it. We bought the dacha on September 16th last year. Now it's September 29th of this year, so exactly a year ago, we planted these emeralds, 5 of these trees. They have grown significantly. I'm a bit surprised that they've developed so well over this year. That's truly wonderful, really. We also planted another tree, a maple. It's a plain leaf maple. Look how interesting it looks. The leaves are green on top and a bit reddish underneath. That's its beauty. But later it will turn red. Well, we'll see. I think we'll watch together and see how it gradually changes. The compost pile is gradually filling up. Here we put all the leftovers, all the plant residues, and I water them with Baikal, and the microorganisms in Baikal process them very well. They break down these residues and speed up the decomposition process. There will be good, rich compost which we will use again to help grow our plants. For example, a lovely dahlia in a little bucket like this. Growing beautiful flowers in buckets or pots really makes sense. You can always move the pot to wherever you need it, wherever is convenient for you, that's where you move it. Unlike these large flower beds. This is a flower bed with Bacopa and sweet alyssum. This is Snow Crystal from Pan American. Well, it's one of the most fragrant. The scent from it is just amazing. And Salvia, dwarf salvia. Friends, by the way, with the arrival of autumn, rodents have already started coming into our summer house, that one over there. And they've gnawed so much that, look, to avoid missing this moment, you need to fight the rodents, because they'll eat all our harvest. The eustomas have finished blooming. There's just one flower left, but the blooming was surprisingly lush and powerful. In general, we grow eustoma from seed every year. I'll also leave a good link to eustoma seeds in the description under this video. And we're always satisfied. And I want to show you something special. We planted this little chrysanthemum bush last year. It was this small when we planted it. We bought it and it stood at our dacha for a long time, somewhere over there in a pot, decorating the place when there was absolutely nothing else here. Just bare earth, and that's it. There was no greenhouse, no flower beds, no lawn, nothing at all. To make it look a bit nicer, we bought 2 pots and placed them here. The pots weren't big, about 3 or 4 liters each. And then we planted them in the ground, and look at how much it's grown in just a year. I've seen a lot of chrysanthemums, and I've even been to Holland. I've looked at the fields, seen how they look, and visited a company that grows chrysanthemums professionally. But our little bush here is in no way worse than those Dutch ones. And that's considering that we didn't really give them any special care or attention. And this is the second one. As I said, we bought 2 bushes last autumn. Here is the second one. It will bloom a little later, but it's also just as strong and beautiful. Let's take another look at the begonia. I've shown it a few times. This is a tuberous begonia. This is how it blooms, with little rose-like flowers. Look at this beauty, what wonderful plants. And now let's go on to the terrace. We built it specifically so that, well, sometimes we could have tea here, sit and fully enjoy the beautiful surroundings. And together with you, let's take a moment to observe what everything looks like when sitting comfortably on this lovely bench on the terrace. Here are some beautiful flower beds like this. Such beauty, Pelargonium alyssum, which smells wonderful. Here is a truly giant begonia. This beautiful begonia was also carefully grown from seed. Unlike the ever-blooming ones, the ever-blooming begonia bushes are actually quite small. This is a slightly different type of begonia. It grows up to 1/2 meter tall in height, and here are 2 pots. In one we have Catharanthus and balsam growing. You can tell them apart by their leaves. You see, the Catharanthus plant has an elongated leaf, while the balsam's leaf is more circular in shape. Oh, that's the difference. But as for the flowers, you can hardly, if at all, tell them apart from one another, even if you look very closely. Oh, these flowers look very similar. And this is balsam. Just like that. This is the flower bed that surrounds our terrace. But let's continue. There's something else I want to show you. Let's take a peek around the corner. Cosmos flowers. I think everyone has cosmos flowers. These are the simplest flowers, but that doesn't make them any less wonderful or beautiful. We've been growing them for a long time, and back where we used to live, where we came from, and for those viewers who don't know, we came from Luhansk region. In March of 2022, we left Luhansk region. Yes, we were just lucky. And we started everything here in this new place. Let's take a look from the side. Here are such flower beds, hypoestes. Well, some people like them, some don't. They come in different colors. You see, some are dark, some are light, and some are different. Soon I will be digging up the bulbs, calla lilies. The calla lilies bloomed this year just so beautifully, so beautifully. This flower bed here, these are annuals in this bed. In the spring, tulips grew here. We watched them bloom. Here is a short fragment. These are the tulips that bloomed in this flower bed in the spring. Then we carefully dug up the bulbs and planted young annual flower seedlings here, giant snapdragons. We trimmed them. You might remember when they had actually finished blooming, we just trimmed them and they sent out secondary shoots. And that's how we got these lush, constantly blooming bushes, which are always so full of life. And here and there, there's also beautiful verbena and colorful gazania. But friends, as you understand, tomorrow or the day after is already October. And in October, it's not quite the same as, say, in June. On this note, I'll end the video. Thank you all for your attention. I wish you beautiful plants, strong health, and peaceful skies above your head. Goodbye.